So, in my last talk, maybe somebody thinks I was overdramatic, but I talked about how COVID-19, in my mind, could very well be a dry run for releasing Ebola, a highly toxic, deadly organism, on the whole world based upon the COVID-19 trial run. And then I said, this whole idea was explored in the Stephen King book called The Stand, which was also made into like made for TV movies. Where do you want me to go from here? Well, I want you to play the game. What's the game? The game is, okay, let's imagine that we're doing the reality game. In our reality, we already had a dry run, COVID-19, and then the thought is they're going to, got to watch my past few videos, they're going to reduce the human population through massive killing off of people. What did they do in this stand? They had no way of stopping. It was called Captain Trips. That was the organism that was released on planet Earth, killed 99.9% of the population, maybe 99.999% of the population. So if you're going down that scenario, you and I are dead. Why Ebola? Because it's known to be a horrible killer. Look at all this bullshit about COVID-19. It was just a common cold. It was just a bullshit thing. But Ebola, we're told, is it true? Oh, that's a whole nother tin hat thing that I might go into, whether these viruses are real. But let's just go for now that yes, they're real, and Ebola can make you die a horrible way, bleeding out of your eye sockets and your ears, and turning your skin black, and highly contagious. What can you do about it? Well, what if I'm right? What if all of these so-called diseases that we've been told, contagious diseases, Ebola, the flu, anthrax, the Great Plague, all the diseases that you get inoculated for, mumps, measles, rubella, yellow fever, dengue fever, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. What if all of these are not even real diseases? What if these ones are simply something that we're brainwashed into believing are real? Because I keep using this Illuminati pyramid. Oh, I dropped my pyramid. The Illuminati pyramid is the people at the top, the billionaires and trillionaires, who have all the people in the gold section working for them. And then in the blue section, it's everyone else. What if we've arranged in the gold section to buy up all of the, let's buy up all the textbooks, all the publishers of textbooks for schools and universities. We're going to buy them up, and we're going to make sure that all the schools use our textbooks, and then we're going to put a bunch of lies into our textbooks. For every subject, we're going to have it all set up so that we can brainwash people by controlling all of the education system. Then we can teach children through school confirmed by their parents, because they also went through these schools, confirmed by the professors who teach all this stuff, that this is all truth. But what if it's all lies? Well, that's pretty... No, I want you to go with it. Why? Because it's what I'm going to say is the truth. Because the people at the top, the moneyed class, always have had money from generation to generation, and they've always wanted what? To keep their money and their prestige and their power. So they have to have the gold section, smart people at the top in the gold section working for them, and they have to keep the people in the blue section dumb. Why? Because if they're dumb, they're no threat to me. And this is what's been going on planet Earth forever. Generation after generation, if you're born into this tippy-top part, what do you learn? You're an elite. And you're going to stay elite because we got all these smart people in the gold section. These are all the best brains on planet Earth in the gold section. They work for you. And your job is to make sure they keep working for you. So you pay them well. And your goal is to keep the blue section dumb because they outnumber you. You know, you're a very small, tiny number of people. And this is, in today's world, it's billions that are in the blue section. They outnumber you. So you've got very smart people in the gold who know how to control the blue section. And that is planet Earth, God's honest truth. So let's talk about what kind of lies there are. Well, what do we know? Malcolm Gladwell has a good book. It's called Outliers. And basically, Gladwell says, you study things that are far from normal. What are you going to find? You're going to find people that are far from normal. What are some examples? The first example, that Iceman guy. He's an older guy. He looks like he's about 60. But he tolerates cold water and ice that would freeze me to death. But he can do it with his breathing exercises. How does he do it? Well, you can watch his videos, but I watch his videos. I still don't think I can do it. But he can do it. There's videos of him doing these things. So he's definitely an outlier. How about Olympic athletes? They run faster, they swim faster, they're more flexible, they do stuff in gymnastics. I can't do that. Human potential in athletics. You see it at the Olympics. You watch football players, baseball players, hockey players, soccer players. These are the elite of the elite. These are what humans can do. You're going to say, well, it's their genetics. That's what you're brainwashed to believe. What else do we hear about that's outliers? We hear about Tibetan monks that go into caves and they do nothing but meditate. And then what kind of things happen to them? Well, they develop telepathy. They develop telekinesis, the spiritual superpowers. So we're in the blue section of the pyramid. We're dumbed down. We don't believe that we can do the things that the people I just mentioned do. And even when we investigate it, people say, it's paranormal, it's not real. People say it's tin hat, it's conspiracy theory, it's pseudoscience. Because science says there's no such thing as humans that can do telepathy and telekinesis. So it's marked pseudoscience, which means if you're going to go down that path, we're going to ridicule you. Why? It's because the people at the top don't want you to discover that the stuff that we're talking about is real and it's in your capabilities to develop it. Because if you all develop these kind of powers, the people at the top don't have a chance in controlling you. So they're never going to talk about these kind of things as if they're real. And they're not going to talk about things like extraterrestrials and be serious about it. Why? Because if you start thinking about extraterrestrials, then you're going to start wondering, what can extraterrestrials do? And it's a whole other stuff that they don't want you to investigate because they already talk to the extraterrestrials. People at the top of the pyramid, and they keep us in the blue thinking that it's all like cartoons. Why? They don't want us thinking for ourselves. So they make lots of movies about extraterrestrials, and they make the extraterrestrials evil. Evil extraterrestrials, things to be scared of so that you won't seriously consider it. Because it's all based upon fear and ridicule. If we can keep you scared of things or ridicule you, we'll keep you out of these areas that are dangerous to our control of you. And that is the agenda of the people at the top of the pyramid, to mind control you so you're easily handled. So the people at the top can keep control generation after generation. And that's why your parents are never going to say, I agree with this guy with the hood, because they're brainwashed. And their parents were brainwashed because the people at the top, these families at the top, have been in power on planet Earth maybe thousands of years, way back to ancient Rome, maybe earlier than that. But they have been in power, and they know how to hold on to power. They keep you dumb, uneducated, they feed you lies, they ridicule you, and if all else fails, they've got lots of money to buy lots of soldiers and lots of ammunition so they can kill you, police you, quarantine you. Look how easy it was for them to use a simple thing like the common cold to get you to all volunteer to quarantine yourself, the whole planet. Who did it? The people in the gold part of the pyramid. And they looked at it and said, it was so easy, let's do it again. That's the way it is, folks. So, subscribe to my channel and I'll tell you how to figure out how to upend this Illuminati pyramid so the people in the gold don't control you anymore, so you can find your freedom. You can imagine that you're Keanu Reeves in the first Matrix movie. I don't know, some of the young people maybe never even seen the Matrix movie. But in the movie, Keanu Reeves was working as a computer guy, and somebody found out that he was being watched by one group, and another group wanted to help him. And that's what the Matrix is all about. And that's what this channel is all about. There's people watching you that don't want you to wake up. They want to keep you in the blue section, dumb down. And then there's people like me who want to wake you up and help you become more than what you ever thought you could be.